the Elite Battle League, otherwise known as the EBL. I myself have taken part in Season 5 of the Elite Battle League, and this is my first ever season, and to be honest with you, I just want to talk about how it's gone so far. So for those of you who are not familiar, I'll quickly explain what the EBL entails during its runtime. The main part of the EBL consists of 5 games for each person. In these battles, there is no items allowed, and you can draft literally any Pokemon as long as it's available in the given game that we're playing on. For this season, again, it was Sword and Shield. Now on screen you can see the team that I drafted, and I have to say, these are the boys. We'll quickly go into how I've done over this season in a bit, but if you were to just look at this team on paper, how would you think it would perform? And to be honest, if you keep that mindset on how you think it will perform, it's probably a shared mindset with a lot of people within the EBL, considering that maybe this team was slightly underrated. We have Zarude, Heatran, Inteleon, Comfey, Quagsire, Archeops, Mimikyu, Nidoking, and of course, Frostmoth, to complete the Snowdonian Frostmoths. Not sure why I picked the team, I have no affiliation with Snowdon, but hey, it sounded cool, and it's icy. Yeah. The reason I'm making this video is because the main portion of this season is over now. Everyone has played their 5 matches, and I wanted to just go over that, have my thoughts and opinions, and I will reveal whether or not we made it through to the play-in/playoff matches. We'll get into that further later. But before we talk about the actual progression of the Snowdonian Frostmoths in the EBL, I wanted to talk about a few points that I've got written down here, and it'll take us down memory lane, I guess. My favourite moment. I think literally my favourite moment from this whole season probably has to be my battle against Humberto, which was my first ever EBL battle ever. Like, not even just this season, I've never been in it before. So coming up against Humberto, who in case you don't know is Lionheart Plays, who coaches the Fortsil Warriors, the current champion of the EBL. As my first game, coming up against a champion like that, it was intimidating, but I also thought, you know, this is a stage, something that I can perform on and really show how this team can perform if it's used right. I didn't win, so I didn't win, but again, that's inexperience and coming up against the current champion. It all combined to be like a bit iffy on my part, but we did give the champion a run for his money, which I was really happy with. We played ballsy. As you can see on the screen now, we entered with the Frostmoth and got off 2 Quiver Dances before taking down the Primarina, I believe it was, and going from there with the Frostmoth. Didn't quite get the sweep, obviously, but I think it came down to a 1v1, and Humberto did in fact win that. So again, well done to Humberto. He was obviously a bit rusty as well because he's only just started this season. Everyone was going to be a bit rusty in week 1, which might have played into why I got so close to winning. So I was happy with that. But yeah, that's probably my favourite moment, catching the champion off guard with a 2 times Quiver Danced Frostmoth straight off the bat. He didn't expect that, and that was something that I really enjoyed, because this team needs to do things differently, because they have some heavy hitters, but they need to have that element of surprise as well. Just any future competitors of mine, any opponents of mine in the future, bear that in mind. I'm going to do stuff that isn't normal. But yes, the Humberto battle, my very first EBL battle, is probably my favourite moment overall this season, I would say. My favourite Pokemon in the team. Now, I'm recording this literally after my week 5 battle, a day after it's gone up. So I have to say, my favourite Pokemon that I've used in this team is probably Mimikyu. Now, of course, if you look at my logo, Mimikyu is one of the mascots, which is great, but I wasn't expecting it to do as well as it did. I know it's very strong and it can be used very well if you know how to use it, and I'm slowly learning how to use it, and I'm really enjoying the way it plays. On the screen now, you're seeing my week 5 battle with Doorman, and to be honest, it wasn't even Mimikyu that allowed itself to get to the winning stage. What I mean by that is Quagsire actually played a huge part in allowing the Mimikyu to set up. But once the Mimikyu was set up, it was pretty much GG from there. But Mimikyu has been a huge part of this team, and I'm very glad that I'm finally starting to understand how to use it better. And then I do have to give an honourable mention to either Quagsire or Zarude. Zarude is slowly growing on me. I wanted a grass type legendary, and it was between him and Celebi, and I decided I wanted to go physical, so we went with the Zarude, and I'm slowly starting to like it. I think it's okay. It's not too bad, but it's done bits for this team, so I can't fault it. The worst moment, I'm not too sure what worst moment would have been, but there was a moment, obviously, well, I'll talk about the battle with Max. I feel as if I could have done a lot better. Like, Max is a good battler, and I'm not trying to take that away from him. Like, he more than likely would have beat me no matter what, but I feel as if I could have done so much better when it came to that game, and I didn't, and I was quite annoyed with myself. So I think that was probably my worst moment in this season. I can't really think of anything else. Maybe against Maxis, there's probably a few misplays in that, but yeah, I would say this is probably my worst moment in the EBL, is my whole battle against Max. I feel as if I played a few things differently, I could have won. So I think we'll go with that. I think we'll go with the Max battle. But again, not taking anything away from Max. He's a great battler. So yeah, but that's my worst moment. My worst Pokemon in the team. Okay. Now, the worst Mon in my team might come as a bit of a surprise to some of you guys, but to be honest, I haven't really been able to use it to the best of its ability, probably, just because I'm probably bad. But really, because I haven't used it all too much, it means I'm gonna rank it as my least best. There is an argument for Nidoking as well, but I think it's because I anticipated more from Heatran when I drafted it, and it just hasn't delivered. Maybe it's just bad matchups, I don't know, but it's between Heatran and Nidoking for me. Who will win Season 5? Now, we're going to get real right here. This is a tough question, which I don't really have an answer to right now. The current champ has been knocked out as we speak. Spoilers alert. I mean, you should have watched it. If you're really into the EVL, you would have watched this by now. The champion is knocked out, and we have quite a few heavy hitters right now. For instance, Sly Guy hasn't lost a match. And the amount of mods, I think, let me just check his KD right now. He is plus 21. For reference, this is the whole conference. He's pretty good. Now, an argument could be made that he did come up against quite a few newcomers, even though he is a newcomer himself, as well as me. I haven't played Sly yet, but his team is very scary. So Sly is definitely someone to definitely look out for, 100%. And then the person just below him in that conference, Maxis. Maxis is definitely someone you should keep your eye on. I think it's probably between those two for the winner, but then again, that's just looking at this conference. If we go over to the Dynamax conference, and if we take a look at LA Inferno, aka Josh, aka the lowly Hermit, he's at plus 20, just one behind Sly in KD, and hasn't lost a game either. So that's pretty tough. And speaking of not losing a game, another person that is very, very viable and a great pick for a prediction on who could win, the Montebello Morpeko, aka Carlos, aka Mr. Toast. All four of them, I feel as if, are the main candidates for the winner of Season 5. You know, you got two people within the Dynamax conference that haven't lost a game this whole season. And then if you go to the Mega Conference, Sly Guy, the San Antonio Espers, hasn't lost a game. And Maxis has only lost one, but has a plus 10 KD. It's scary. It's scary for whoever comes up against them, and it will be interesting to see how the rest of the league goes. It has to be between those four, I feel. There could be a huge upset. Maybe I'm going to win. I won't. But all I'm saying is, as a neutral, it's gonna be a fun watch. So definitely subscribe to everyone and the EBL channel itself. It's gonna be very interesting to see who wins this. But if I had to pick, I am actually gonna go Josh. The Lonely Hermit, the LA Inferno, I think they are my favourite to win. Only because I've been watching them play, and this is what I'll say right now. Sly is great. So ultimately, I think it comes down to Sly, Maxis, Josh, and Carlos. But if I had to pick 2 to go to the final, it'd be Josh and Sly. I don't know how that all works. We'll see. But out of all 4 of them, personally, I think Josh might win. I think the Lonely Hermit has what it takes. His team is amazing. He's an extremely good battler. So we'll just have to see. It will be very interesting. Very interesting. But that's my pick. The LA Inferno. And finally, we have how I think Season 6 will go. To be honest with you, I am very, very excited for Season 6. I'm not sure how far we're going to go in Season 5. I'm already talking about Season 6, but I'm not even sure how far we're going to go in Season 5. We might make the playoffs, and we'll speak about that in a bit. But for Season 6, I'm very excited. But Season 6 will be great, as all the seasons have been. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it. Very, very excited for Season 6. I'll definitely be taking part as long as the EBL allow me to. Hopefully they allow me to. If they don't, then I don't know. So now that I've been tiptoeing around if I've made it to the next stage of the EBL after this current, main bit of the season, turns out I've made the playing games. So essentially it goes playing games this coming week, and the next week is the playoff games, which is like the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, and then grand finals. So there's quite a lot that I can get to. Just depends how well I play. So in these playing games, there's 2 playing games, right? It's me versus the Texas Tyranitar, which is Alan, aka the Doorman. And then you have Timmy, DC Starmies, versus Max, the Detroit Luxrays. So out of the winners of those, they go to the playoff games, which is, like I said, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, and then grand finals, pretty much. I can show you on screen what it looks like. I do have to confirm that I can show this on screen, just in case. I will talk to Mr. Pidge, the commissioner. Be sure to check Pidge out. He's amazing. But yes, if we win this next game, then we move on to the playoffs, which essentially is the quarterfinals for all those who understand quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals a bit better than all these playoff sort of things. This is very American. But yes, there is a good chance that we move on to the playoffs. We have to beat Alan first, the Doorman, which is no easy feat. Definitely not. So we have to beat Alan first, and then if we do, we play Sly Guy, who I mentioned earlier as being one of the potential winners of the whole thing. But that is what it is. I've counted out Pidge, who has literally won the league before. So again, I'm surprised I didn't mention him before. He is someone you should definitely look out for in this league. He's proven that he can win these sorts of things, so he completely just dropped out of my mind. I can't believe I forgot to say Pidge, to be honest. But again, another person that could potentially win it is Pidge. I can't believe I forgot him. But yeah, there's 5 big possible winners in this, I feel. And then I think that only leaves like me, Timmy, Max, Alan, and Smoosh. I think they're the only people I haven't talked about as being potential winners. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. That's the thing. I'm not counting anyone out. I'm just saying, at the moment, judging by the stats, who I think would win. And personally, I think it's going to be Josh. But you never know. Ooh. And I am extremely excited to see who does win it. I won't win it. And that's not me being modest. I won't win it. But I am very excited as a viewer and as a supporter of the EBL to see who wins it. Very excited. So with that, I hope you have all enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.